Straight ahead on IU NewsNet, a controversial campus policy that inspired multiple late-night vigils and protests gets some changes. We'll tell you why.
And hundreds of IU students spent 36 hours straight dancing, singing, and telling stories to raise big bucks for Riley Hospital for Children. The final figure is incredible.
And IU football's toughest test yet is less than 48 hours away. The Ohio State preparations, plus the latest on big plans to expand Memorial Stadium right here in Bloomington. IU NewsNet starts now. Welcome to IU NewsNet. I'm Riley Woodall.
And I'm Grace Marocco. The IU Board of Trustees made a change to the controversial Expressive Activity Policy enacted at the start of the semester. The original policy banned protests, speeches, and other expressive activities between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. That rule still applies, but now with an exception for university-approved events. The change comes after many raised questions about the lines of students waiting overnight for ESPN's College Gameday a few weeks ago. IU says that doesn't break the policy and clarified the rules to match it. The policy has received pushback after it was made following dozens of arrests at pro-Palestinian protests last April.
If it's going to have a policy regulating people's expressive conduct, then it has to apply the law even-handedly. The university isn't allowed to say, we're going to pick and choose and punish speech we don't like and give a safe haven to speech that we do like.
In August, the ACLU sued IU over the policy, saying it was overly broad. The case is still ongoing in court.
At an Indiana State House IU budget hearing, lawmakers had some critical comments for IU President Pamela Whitten. The criticism centered around how she handled the Israel-Palestine protests on campus last semester at Dunn Meadow. President Whitten called out state police in riot gear and put sharpshooters on the roof of the IMU. One Democratic state senator questioned Whitten regarding bias and unequal enforcement, which she denied. Last semester, a majority of IU faculty voted no confidence in President Pamela Whitten as the leader of IU.
Indiana football has reached record-breaking success, and first-year head coach Curt Cignetti has a lucrative new contract to show for it. On Saturday, IU extended Cignetti to an 8-year, $72 million contract to keep him in Bloomington through 2032. That's the highest in IU history. He will also receive an annual $1 million retention bonus. After coming to IU from James Madison University, Cignetti has led the Hoosiers to their first 10-0 start and a likely college football playoffs appearance.
Curt Cignetti and IU football isn't the only thing getting a new and improved look. Memorial Stadium, where they play, will also get some upgrades. IU President Pamela Whitten and Athletic Director Scott Dolson are making plans for renovations to the 64-year-old stadium. Fundraising could start soon. Possible renovations include upgrades to the luxury and press seating, opportunities for fan interaction, and possibly extending the physical structure itself. But IU Scott Dolson says they won't change the historic feel of Memorial Stadium.
I think you'll know where you are. It won't feel like you're in a different place, but I think people, when it's all said and done, will feel like, wow, this is a modern day stadium that we can have a great experience at.
IU officials conducted a consumer survey last year about potential upgrades, and Dolson says the survey is factoring into the plans. One requested item is building restrooms to fit the capacity crowds, which was an issue this season.
As of this week, the odds makers say IU has a nearly 90% chance of making the college football playoffs, and the scramble for tickets is already underway if they host a game right here in Bloomington. IU Athletics sent out an email alerting students that they can reserve a ticket for just $25. Students immediately began lining up in the online queue. The game would take place on December 20th or the 21st, and students can only receive one ticket per account. The reduced price ticket will be granted based on a point system, taking into account attendance at IU sporting events.
The second largest student-run philanthropy in the world, IUDM just closed out a year of fundraising with their 36-hour dance marathon this weekend. They raised over $3 million for Riley Hospital for Children. I have the recap of the magical marathon. IUDM, a 33-year-old student organization that brings together hundreds of individuals from all walks of life for a common purpose: saving lives.
There's an incredible strength in numbers. We all have completely different backgrounds. We're all studying different things. We're all here for different reasons, but we're all doing it for the kids at Riley and their families.
I can't think of a better cause than to help children who are less fortunate than us growing up. Tremendous cause.
And for a couple of former Riley kids, IUDM didn't just save their lives, it also saved their dreams.
I actually have a goal of being a sports broadcaster. I was a sports broadcaster for 3 years with my high school, and I've grown up loving cameras, loving doing behind the scenes stuff.
Last year, I was on this stage praying to Pam Whitten and all the other admissions people to let me in, but now I'm here! You might see me on IUS TV. I'm a sports media major. I might be covering your, awesome Indiana football. Hello!
Because of IUDM, Braden and Olivia's dreams of working in the sports industry are now possible. And whether they end up wearing a headset, holding a microphone, or doing something else entirely, their stories serve as a beacon of hope for the rest of the world.
Disability doesn't mean inability. Because I'm telling you what, you tell these kids they can't, and they're going to show you they can. Okay? There's no second.
And as everyone dances their way through the marathon of life, it's moments like this that remind us you really can do anything you put your mind and heart to.
I love that story, that bell ringing at the end.
Yeah.
You can tell she was passionate. Over $3 million raised.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when I was there, just hearing these Riley stories, just being a part of the marathon itself, I got teary-eyed several times just listening to all these stories. It was such an incredible weekend, and it was an important reminder that I think we all got to take in, because I think there's so much bad. You hear about so much bad, so much evil in the world. This weekend's a reminder that there's a lot of good people doing a lot of good things for a good cause.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
Just absolutely incredible.
All of those students coming together. Thanks,
Yeah.
Riley. When we come back, as the seasons change, you may start to feel a little blue and low on energy. It's a disorder that has a name and a solution.
Plus, we'll take you on a trip to a goat sanctuary, you heard that right, where their mission is serenity and goat yoga is just the beginning. Stay with us.
The holiday season is finally here. Christmas music is already playing at stores, and students leave for Thanksgiving break this weekend. So excited.
Yeah, I hope we actually get a white Christmas this time around in Indiana.
Yeah,
Fluffy
me
snow
too.
and not just barren wasteland.
Yes.
Right? That's the hope. Indian culture gets a jump start on the holiday season as well with what they call Diwali, a Hindu festival of lights. IU NewsNet's Gabe Pontones shows us what it's all about.
Another lunar cycle means another annual campus Diwali celebration. Also called the Festival of Lights, this celebration is an excellent opportunity for students to come together and enjoy a colorful part of Indian culture.
It's a 5-day festival. Each day of the event, each day of the festival per se has a different meaning and a different thing we do. So this is technically considered, Diwali is the 3rd year of the 5-day festival, and then the New Year, the Indian New Year, is the 4th day following.
Such a large celebration means a lot of planning and a lot of moving pieces, but all of it is worth it if people have a good time.
So tonight we wanted to bring Diwali. Diwali was like 2 weeks ago, but we wanted to bring Diwali onto campus. So essentially we spent so much time. There was somebody spending essentially night and day trying to figure out how to get everything here. All the decorations, all the people trained, all the food ready.
Campus Diwali is part of many people's annual traditions to celebrate the holiday. One grad student shares her own personal traditions.
We like to wear lots of, I'm not wearing one right now, but really colorful, very bright. Indian clothes, different kinds, traditions, as in lots of food, sweet food especially. It's amazing.
Diwali is a fantastic opportunity for students and staff alike to come together and remember that triumph of good over evil and come together for that camaraderie. Behind me, music is still playing, food is still being served, and everyone is still having a wonderful time. Diwali is one of many celebrations happening this holiday season, so keep an eye out on the calendar so you don't miss any. For IU NewsNet, I'm Gabe Pontonis.
The IU Board of Trustees approved a 2% increase in room and board rates for IU Bloomington. That brings the annual total to just over $12,400. This adjustment will help fund renovations, including upgrades to Wright Quad, which is planning to reopen next fall. The additional revenue will also support the maintenance of housing and dining facilities. Even with the increase, IU Bloomington has one of the most affordable rates in the Big Ten Conference.
And here's another IU ranking for you. We are now ranked 3rd nationally for midterm study abroad programs and 5th for the total number of students studying abroad. That's according to the 2024 Open Doors report. More than 3,800 IU students studied abroad in over 70 countries. IU also ranked among the top 40 universities for hosting international students, welcoming over 6,300 students from more than 120 countries. Both IU Bloomington and IU Indianapolis saw growth in international student populations in 2022 and 2023.
Have you been feeling low on energy since rolling back the clocks and the seasonal change from fall to winter? Well, you aren't the only one. It's called seasonal affective disorder, and it has to do with exposure to sunlight. This type of depression occurs during specific seasons, usually fall and winter. Shorter days and less daylight have been proven to set off a chemical change in the brain, which can lead to difficulty concentrating, decreased energy, and even headaches.
I try to keep myself as busy as possible, but it's kind of difficult to do that when, it's cloudy, it's gray, it's just sad outside, so it's kind of impossible to not feel that way yourself.
The acronym for this seasonal condition is SAD, or SAD. Light therapy boxes like this one are often called happy lights. This one was about $20 on Amazon. People have found relief by spending as little as 20 minutes with light therapy. Antidepressants can also be used to treat seasonal affective disorder.
As you just saw, one of our own IU NewsNet reporters has found a number of ways to cope with seasonal affective disorder.
Olivia Wilson says there is a very cool place nearby to take your mind off the lousy weather, a farm where goats take center stage. Olivia joins us now for that story. Olivia?
Yes, it's called the Goat Conspiracy, and it combines two things, goats and yoga, to spread the hope for the health of animals and humans.
A few miles outside of Bloomington, you'll find a slew of goats and even a few chickens. One of the main attractions at the Goat Conspiracy Sanctuary are their goat yoga classes.
So goat yoga is a really fun one. That's my favorite. Goats are really friendly. Our goats are especially friendly because they're well socialized and they really act a lot like dogs. The best way to see that is to get up with them and just really observe them for an hour.
Valdez joined the sanctuary over the summer when the farm was in the middle of some big changes.
Is this gonna help?
Here at the Goat Conspiracy Sanctuary, there are around 118 goats, just like my friends right here, who used to be dairy goats. But over the winter, the farm turned into a sanctuary in hopes of combating some of the negative effects of animal agriculture.
We are now an animal sanctuary. Our animals are not exploited, they're not used for anything, they are retired.
Animal agriculture can be harmful to not only the animals, but also our health.
There's possibly a bird flu outbreak happening soon. That's a result of keeping chickens, pigs together in these subpar conditions where disease is gonna breed. It's bad for the environment, it's bad for the animals. But what people don't think about is that those problems can be present even on like small little family farms.
Small farms like the Goat Conspiracy are trying to change for the better, but this still comes with some pushback from the community.
Just really, people haven't been necessarily receptive, and it's really an honor because people just loved what we did in the past so much that it's hard to see it go. But because of that, there's just sometimes friction.
Despite this friction, the sanctuary is here
to show that these animals deserve dignity and that these animals are individuals. They can feel love, they can feel pain, they have emotions, they have quirks. Some of our animals are really weird, but they really are these individual things, and I mean, just do your best to treat any kind of animal or living thing, and in our case, farmed animals, with that respect that you would give anything else.
The Goat Conspiracy has sanctuary tours and goat yoga classes. For more information and times, you can visit their website at thegoatconspiracy.com. Now back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. When we come back, men's soccer is going back to the NCAA tournament for its 38th straight season. We'll tell you how the Hoosiers are destined for a deep run.
Plus, women's basketball finally got a victory. We'll show you how the team is using the momentum for their upcoming trip to the Bahamas. Stay with us. Welcome back. Indiana athletics is red hot with the eyes of college football on the Hoosiers as they head for Columbus, Ohio this weekend.
I can't wait to watch the Hoosiers on national television. Ryan Costello joins us with the sports. Ryan?
That's right. The fifth-ranked Indiana Hoosiers have their biggest test of the season this Saturday at noon when they match up against the second-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. But head coach Curt Cignetti is not letting the prestige of the team from Columbus get in his players' heads.
This is a team that's capable, and the only limitations on this football team would be those we put on ourselves between our ears. But this is a group of guys that do not think that way.
Hoosier fans will get to see how capable the team is of handling a top 5 matchup when the game airs on Fox's big noon kickoff on Saturday, game time 12 noon. From one kind of hot football to the other, Indiana men's soccer is going back to the NCAA tournament for a 38th straight year. The Hoosiers earned a national seed in the tournament for the 24th time, which extends their own record. The 14th seeded Hoosiers received a first-round bye and will begin their quest for their 9th national championship on Sunday when they take on the winner of Princeton and Akron. Moving from the pitch to the court, Indiana women's basketball ended its 2-game losing streak this past Sunday when they upset the then 24th-ranked Stanford Cardinals 79-60. One of the reasons the Hoosiers succeeded in this one was the play of graduate guard Chloe Moore McNeil. Her game-high 21 points was due to her aggressive play, which got her to the free throw line numerous times. Head coach Terry Morin said that Moore McNeil playing like this is essential to the Hoosiers' success.
She's the leader of this team, and we really depend on her. And when she plays like, she did tonight, which was aggressive on both ends, we have a chance.
The Hoosiers will use this newfound confidence from the Stanford win when they visit the Bahamas this weekend for the Battle for Atlantis Thanksgiving tournament. Staying on the basketball court, the 16th-ranked Indiana men's basketball team continued their undefeated start to the season with a dominant 87-71 win over the South Carolina Gamecocks. Redshirt sophomore point guard Miles Rice was a factor in this victory for Indiana with 23 points in the night. Rice was red hot from behind the arc, knocking down 3 of his 4 three-pointer attempts. But it was also 4 other Hoosiers who scored in double figures who helped power the Hoosiers to their 3rd victory of the season. Indiana will take on UNC Greensboro tonight at 6:30 on FS1 before heading to the Bahamas for the Battle for Atlantis Thanksgiving tournament. That's all for sports in this action-packed week. Remember, the big football game is at noon Eastern on Fox. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. That's it for IU NewsNet. For now, we have a behind-the-scenes student production team in the control room behind us and working in the studio for this broadcast. We thank them, and we thank you for watching. I'm Riley Woodall.
And I'm Grace Marocco. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at IU NewsNet and on the IU Student Media Network on YouTube. Take care, and we'll see you at Thanksgiving break. Have a good break.